Hello! This week on Late Night News, we talk about the Know Your DA campaign. David Kibuka goes to Zimbabwe and Chester Missing talks to the new head of the National Youth Development Agency. Don't go anywhere, we'll be here. The fact that Jacob Zuma is still the president must eat at the heart of Helen Zille. And on top of it, the ANC wins the election by a huge majority without blinking an eyelid. And she's tried everything, huh? She's tried everything to get the vote. She's tried to dance like him. She tried to speak the language.
Viva DA! Clean DA! Tata DA! Nanine!
She even had some Gupta curry. And she even exposed some of the president's scandals, huh? But Msholozi still remains boss. Then one day, while she was having croissants in Camps Bay, it all dawned on her. The people vote for Jacob Zuma because the ANC owns the fight against apartheid, aka the struggle. And we all know the struggle will get you places. How many years were in the struggle? 10. Okay, now you can be an MP, even a minister. We can throw you there. 3 years? Suka, we can give you MEC, something like that. And if you've been in the struggle forever, you can be the president. Don't worry, don't worry. If you did nothing during the struggle, you get nothing from the government. If your family didn't even throw a stone, nothing. Who are you to get a tender? Where were you during the struggle? Join umzabalazo, baba. Join umzabalazo. Thola amatenda, join umzabalazo. So Helen Zille decided that she needed to show the people that she was also in the struggle. So, to set the record straight, she made a documentary film called Know Your DA to show off her struggle credentials.
For the states of emergency in the mid to late 1980s, our house was used as a safe house.
And guess what, South Africa? It turns out that Helen Zille was deep in the struggle. Look at her there, struggling to help those who are struggling. Look, who can you say now that she was not in the struggle? Look there, look, there are pictures, evidence. Basically, Helen is saying that some of the DA's best friends are black. Some of my friends are black, Lisa. Some of my friends are black. The showstopper of this whole campaign was a picture of Helen Suzman and Nelson Mandela. She hoped that the comrades would be convinced by this picture and that they would vote for the DA. No, man. Nelson Mandela takes pictures of everyone. Look, they took a picture with Danny Kaye, Rick Natling, Naomi Campbell. I mean, that doesn't mean you have struggle credentials just because you took a picture with Nelson Mandela. I mean, Nelson Mandela took a picture with Speedy. Even Nelson must have been confused. Why do you have a towel? Does the towel have to be in the picture? Why is the towel in the picture? Hi, Chuck Norris. Can I have a picture with you? Can I have a picture with you? Because you know, Chuck Norris does not have a picture with Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela takes a picture with Chuck Norris because Chuck Norris does not play those games, Baba. Does not play those games. And the documentary film by the DA was only 12 minutes. Why? Because the DA were only in the struggle for 12 minutes. Helen is hoping that this will convince the comrades to vote for her. How can you? But she put this video on YouTube, which is where? On the interwebs, on the internet. Something tells me somebody is out of touch because the people in Tutu are going, no, where do I find this video? This video is on the internet. We don't have internet, man. Put it on a cassette, Helen. Helen, put it on a cassette. You are out of touch, Helen. You are out of touch. Helen seems to have started a trend because other parties have made their own documentary to show their involvement in the struggle. South Africa, it's getting out of hand. Check this out.
The miracle of South Africa's journey to democracy is one of the greatest stories ever told. Much has been written on the party that spearheaded this movement, the ANC and its great leaders. But many historians have neglected an untold story about a small party known as the Daga Party, who have been puffing and passing to the left through the struggle and to this day.
On that historical day of 27th April 1994, people asked themselves, why were our citizens so calm? Why did things go so peacefully? Because history likes to leave out some of its greatest heroes. How do people remain calm the whole day, standing in long queues, laughing, loving each other? Ask yourself. Now, history says white people went to the shops and bought canned goods in fear of a civil war. No, it's not true. First of all, when you smoke this thing, yes, you get paranoid. But after that, what do you get? The munchies. And my critics like to say that I ran away from going to the army. But I had to tend the crops. It was imperative. Why do you think Kodesa was so calm? Why? Huh? Ask yourself. Like any struggle hero, I also had my fair share of political imprisonment. That's how I met that guy. You know, I forgot his name. You know, the one who went to Robben Island. Oh, man, the famous one with the strange voice. I hear his name is on the tip of my tongue. Morgan Freeman. No. Well, anyway, you know, all I'm saying is, why do you think he was so chilled when he came out of prison after 27 years? Why? Ask yourself. I think that dude still has my aviators. Now that democracy has come, it's time to tell these stories. I want the people of this country to know your Daga Party. And we plan to take over the country one joint at a time. And hopefully one day we can even legalize it. By the way, we'd like to apologize for one of our members, Ras Dumisani. I assure you he has been reprimanded. Thank you.
That was the Daga Party, Baba. Tata Daga Party, Tata. Tata. Tata Daga Party, Tata. Tata. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break with David Kabuka, who goes to Zimbabwe, Chester missing. And you can send us emails, find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter. We'll be back very shortly. By shortly, I mean like a minute or so. Welcome back. We now cross over to our international man, David Kabuka, who is in Zimbabwe. Dave, what's happening there?
ZANU-PF accused Coca-Cola of supporting the MDC by subliminally putting MDC logos on Zimbabwean Coke cans. Talk about paranoia. Robert Mugabe wants to rule forever. Like when Sir Alex Ferguson retired from coaching Manchester United, Robert Mugabe was so shocked that he called Sir Alex and asked him why he was retiring so young.
If he's that paranoid, it's obvious that he's not going to take the next election lined up.
The big problem with Africa is we say one thing, but then we do another. We say we want democracy, but then we tolerate dictators. Like it doesn't make sense that we kill the rhinos, but we save the dictators. Save the dictator. Save the dictator.
Dave.
That's what we hear through all of Africa.
Yes, Dave. What exactly are you saying?
I'm saying Mugabe has been there for 33 years, so it's time to go. But Morgan Tsvangirai can't do it by himself. He needs the support of Zimbabweans as well as the whole continent. He's not Superman.
So how can we help? How are we going to help?
Wait. Speaking of Superman, I think that just to make us comfortable, they should have a scene in the movie where one of Clark Kent's colleagues point out the fact that Clark Kent looks exactly like Superman. Because we can all see it, Lloyd. We can all see it.
Dave, what are you talking about, man?
Like one of Clark's colleagues should be like, hey, Clark, I don't know whether anyone has ever told you this, but you really, really, really look like Superman. Someone must notice, Lloyd. Because people always come up to me and are like, Dave, I don't know whether anyone has ever told you this, but you really, really, really look like Denzel Washington.
No, Dave. Denzel Washington, I don't think they must be saying, you really, really, really look like Jeffrey the Butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But forget that. What should Zimbabweans do, Dave?
I'm hurt, Lloyd.
Don't be hurt, Dave.
First of all, they need to stop greeting each other for so long. Africans spend way too much time greeting each other, especially the ones from rural areas. And they end everything with, hey. Like, how is Martin? How is Jeremiah? How's Winston? A nuclear bomb could go off, but they still want to greet. They'll be like, don't worry about the nuclear bomb. How is Woofles?
Okay.
It's too much, Lloyd.
Okay.
It's too much.
Okay. After they've limited themselves from greeting, what should they do, Dave? Solution.
Zimbabwe needs to import some Al-Qaeda people, because Al-Qaeda will blow up a thing just to tell you that they're going to blow up a thing, like a pre-blow-up party.
Dave, don't tell me you're advocating a civil war.
No, I'm saying we need to be proactive, because the Incredible Hulk is not going to come and save us. He's too busy saving people from New York. And speaking of the Incredible Hulk, he must spend a fortune on clothes.
Dave, what's with you and superheroes these days? I don't understand. And are you really in Zimbabwe? Because you look like you're in OR Tambo. Just because there's an aircraft behind you there with a Zimbabwean flag does not mean you're in Zimbabwe. Are you in Zimbabwe, Dave?
Thank you, Lord.
Kibuka. Kibuka is gone, ladies and gentlemen. That was David Kibuka, ladies and gentlemen, wherever he is, but I can see his OR Tambo. Me, I can see. So you've seen the DA has kicked off its 2014 election campaign by remixing the struggle history. But what has Bra Jacob been doing? Well, our commander-in-chief, a person who is very, very, very difficult to get hold of on the phone, was in El Dorado Park because of an email he got about a drug problem they have in El Dorado Park. I mean, this is a man who I suspect only found out about Marikana through reading Drum magazine, but all of a sudden, he's in the forefront of dealing with people's issues. It must be the elections. The elections are here. The elections are here.
I was keen to hear them was because when I read their letter, I was shocked. We're going to do everything, not just that factory. We must bring factories.
Now he's promising the people of El Dorado Park a factory. A factory of what? A factory of lies. Yeah, a factory of lies. And I guess he must have looked at this woman's picture on Facebook and said, hey, Mac, we need to go to El Dorado Park. They need us there. They need us. The women, they need us. Everyone, they need us there. But some people are not just about visits. No. Premier of the Free State, Ace Magashula, showed us that electioneering can be taken to a new level. In a move that would make the apartheid forefathers turn in their grave, Ace hired poor white people in the Free State to sit in the front row of the ANC elective conference. I guess Ace was like, if I have white people there, I have their support, and then other comrades will be like, yo, Ace Ace is the man. Anyway, you know it's rough in South Africa, where even white people are falling for that T-shirt and food parcel trick. It's rough, Baba. It's rough. That trick can work on anyone. Now, since 2014, election campaigning seems to have already started. We at LNN have someone who will show you how it all works, all the tricks that they will use on you very soon. Watch and watch very carefully, because you will see this happening around you very, very soon.
Hey, my name is Kumba. I'm here to show you how election season works. People think you just win elections, but no, there's a whole lot of hard work that goes into it. Firstly, there's certain words you shouldn't use when election time is approaching. Like, don't use the word no. That is a negative word. Use words like maybe, and slip in terms like possibilities are endless. Don't use words like ugly. Rather, say his face is hostile. Avoid negative words that will make the voter feel uneasy. Another useful technique, if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, you should use words like infrastructure development, democracy, constitution, protocol. This infrastructural construction of sentences tend to confuse the constituency of believing that the protocol is being observed. See what I did there? Sound like I was making sense, ne? But I wasn't, Shem. Use emotional intelligence. Connect with the voters' emotions. Ask them questions. How does this make you feel? Speak the language that the voters will understand. Hug a voter. Hug a baby with a disease. Uzopol. I know it sounds evil, but it works. You will connect emotionally with the people. People think that when you have skeletons in your closet, you can't campaign. Your skeletons can come out, but not too close to the elections. Allow time for the voter to forget about your scandals before they vote. If the coup just landed last year in December, this will never be an issue. Just that now the elections are too close. Always look hands-on. Go to a mine and dig with the voter just for a day. Sleep in a squatter like Tokyo. Oh. It creates an impression that you understand the plight. And most importantly, never never be specific with your promises. Be vague. For instance, if you say, I will create jobs for all of you, and when they ask you, when are the jobs coming? Just say, don't worry. It's a surprise. For a full package of my famous course, go to www.comradeskumba.co.za. The contact details are there, prices, everything. You can even deposit right now. Ada.
Guy, don't come here and advertise yourself. Just say what you want to say. Hey, this guy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break, where Chester Missing speaks to the head of the National Youth Development Agency. Find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, and we'll see you after this. Welcome back. This week, Chester Missing had the opportunity to interview the new head of the National Youth Development Agency. Let's see what happened, because I think it might have gone a bit developmental and youth, and never mind. Don't worry. It's not.
Ha la la, I am today talking to someone you have never ever heard of. He's the executive chairman of the National Youth Development Agency, Yoshim Pillay. Hey man, how's it going?
Fine, thanks, Chester.
You're looking good, eh? Very good.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, are you youth?
I am indeed.
Wow, you got a lot of facial hair for youth, but okay, fine. You're the top guy now, aren't you? The big man, the head honcho, the makulu boss, the big cheese. How does it feel?
Well, I'm a servant of young people.
A servant of young people?
That's true.
Get me a Coke.
A Coke?
Yeah, go get me a Coke. Okay. So now you're in charge, you know, I no offense, I haven't ever heard of you. I mean, are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not.
You're not on Facebook?
No, I'm not.
How are the youth going to find you?
I'm not really for social networks, but Facebook is not the only social network out there, Chester.
That is true. And you're a communist, aren't you? So you're more for socialist networks, aren't you? How did you actually get this job?
Well, I applied for it, went through the necessary processes. Parliament appointed the NYDA board.
Sure, but aren't you from the Zuma faction, kind of, you know, with the young communists? So I mean...
So, do you have to be part of a faction to be a leader, Chester?
No, you don't. You don't. But unless you're in the ANC or the Young Communist League, then you do.
No, that's not true.
Listen, you were the chairman of the Young Communist League for a while. Did you get that position because you hoped that Blaine Zimande, when he upgrades his 1 million rand car, you might get it?
I got it through hard work and dedication and a passion.
A passion?
For a better society.
A passion for what?
A better, more humane society.
Oh my God, this corporate speak, well done. A better, more humane society.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
Oh yes, I do. I'm believing this guy. Yeah, a better. You could get a job writing notes for sugar packets, sir. Very, very impressive. Okay, so you help young people do business. So basically, you guys are to the youth what the Guptas are to Jacob Zuma.
No, we're not only about helping young entrepreneurs. In fact, we've changed our focus, Chester, by the way. We are now focusing on education and skills development.
Education and skills development?
That's correct.
So are you putting pressure on the president to fire Angie Moshecha?
Nope, we are more concerned with young people.
But Angie Moshecha has school stuff, and that's young people, isn't it? And that's a complete screw-up. I mean, have you seen the textbooks?
Remember, there's
no
also...
No one's seen the textbooks, actually. That's a trick question.
There's also a number of young people that are out of school.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's the problem, is that they can't get through school because of Angie Moshecha. So now they're out of school.
Don't think it's fair to blame Angie Moshecha.
Okay, who must I blame? Must I blame the president?
I think we all have a responsibility.
We all have a responsibility. Yeah, that is true. But in this particular case, she happens to be the Minister of Education. So kinda, you know, it may be her fault.
I don't think so. I think we're being too, unfair and too harsh on her.
How many young people, in honesty, how many young people have actually gotten jobs because of the NYDA?
More than 28,000, in fact.
For real?
That's true.
What are their names?
I don't have it offhand, but I can get them for you.
Is it on your phone? Get it out for us. We want to know. Say their names. We've got time.
It's not on my phone at all.
I thought you were in charge.
I am, but that kind of information, you'll have to access it.
Okay, fair enough. One day the internet will arrive at the NYDA. How many businesses are successful because of the NYDA?
It's also, in fact, it's 28,992.
Yo, this guy knows the exact number. Because if you ask the president stuff like that, he goes, I'm just the president. What I don't understand is you are trying to help young people start businesses and you're facilitating, but you yourself are a communist. Isn't that like asking Michael Jackson to babysit your kids?
No. In
Yes,
fact,
it
my
is.
role as the chair of the Young Communist League complements my role as the chair of the NYDA.
That was a very good answer. I like that. But then why did the president wait to disband the leadership of the ANC Youth League before he gave you, a guy from the Young Communist League, this job?
I don't think one thing has got anything to do with the other.
Oh, this guy here. Do you see this guy? Are you for real? He waited 11 months and then he appointed you so that there be no opposition from the Youth League. Are you seriously telling me you want me to believe there's no connection?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God. Do you also believe in fairies and tokoloshis? Because if it was any more suspicious as far as I'm concerned, SARF would investigate you guys for match fixing. I mean, seriously. What is the NYDA's actual plan in the next 6 months?
We're going to focus on education and skills development. We're going to combine that with economic participation, health, well-being, etc. But we're saying to young people in the next 6 months, don't expect anything from us.
Don't expect anything from them for the next 6 months because they people are off to have a party. That's what these guys, NYDA...
We're off to plan.
Huh?
We're off to plan, Chester.
You're off to plan that party. There they go. Yes. Woo! Yeah. Woo!
That was Chester missing. And you know how he does. He grills people. He takes them to the clean. You know how it is. Now it's time for Mr. Deep Fried Man. Because he's deep. Take it away, Mr. Fried Man. Ire man.
Due to a recent spiritual awakening, I have made the decision to change my name to Deep Fried Lion. Boss Elector! Skiddly whoa! Hear me now. Check out me champion sound. There's too much drama in the UAE. They wanna lock you up in jail and throw away the key, but somehow, some way, Carabas returned from Babylon to SA the other day. And while Winnie's property is auctioned away, Helen Zilla ran around screaming, know your DA. So much fussing and fighting over history, as if the present doesn't present enough adversity. Well, J. Arthur Brown got off scot-free. Macintosh Palela isn't so lucky, so he lost his job. But maybe he can become a spokesman for the Vaseline company. Meanwhile, Abdul Gupta's being charged by the ANC like the crazy white dude charged an elephant. And everyone just trying to protect the president. What really happened is something very few people know, like the amount who were at the Joburg Snoop Lion show. Now to end off, we have to say R.I.P. to the legendary Vuyo Mbuli. Now the moral is done, so I am ending this to go and get high.
Thank you very much, Deep Fried Lion. Thank you, Ire. And now we've come to the end of the show. Find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, send us emails. Goodbye. See you guys next week.
News that moves. ENCA.com.